Commencing program Coriander Society Adventures. Active users Ninja Man Matt, Pods of War, System Administrator, Tormented by Gnomes. Commence.
Welcome everybody to Coriander Society Adventures. I am Tormented by Gnomes. I'll be your game master. Joining me is Ninja Man Matt playing the part of John Carmichael and Pods of War playing the part of Asena. Welcome back to the show, both of you.
Yay! We're here.
We're here.
Live in person. This is not a drill.
You know, honestly, this is like behind the scenes, some stuff is happening, and this is one of the more smooth episodes production-wise, despite the fact that it's not.
We were this close.
We were so close.
Really?
It's ball.
Yeah, well, I figured out how to give you a proper countdown timer. I didn't futz up the intro where I have to give you a countdown and then I, say, wait, crap, I messed something up, and then I have to give you another countdown. Matt
didn't interrupt us.
Matt didn't interrupt us. He's got new lighting. We're coming along.
Look at us. And my internet almost died, real big. So that was a little quick change.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think my internet wants to play along, but whatever.
You're here. That's what matters.
Yay.
Yay.
I wonder why.
Why you're here?
Guy.
Oh.
Bring him up. Otherwise, we're going to have to go into a red versus blue bit, and nobody has time for that.
I thought it was going to be an existential. I thought you were responding to it. Why are we here? And I was
That's
like,
one of life's great
oh,
mysteries,
man.
isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. But if you're talking about why we're here in Coriander, I think Joe can catch you right on up.
That was almost a host-worthy transition. I respect that. That was a good handoff.
That was really good, yeah.
Right?
Thank you.
I respect it.
Much obliged.
Oh, that's ugly. We're going to have to fix that.
I can't do anything about this.
It's not.
We are where we are.
You're beautiful, all right?
Aw.
You are beautiful just the way that you are. When last we left our heroes, they were in another dimension, another universe, another prime material plane, separate from the world of Northport, on a planet called Lacunus. And they are on a mission to find the Vignar. They've been on a mission to find the Vignar for the last 10 episodes. Every single episode I've opened with the same plot line. They finally got a clue by talking to the Voski Seers, the psychics who protect the Voski Principality and give them an edge in their battles against the cybernetic Exarchate and the draconic Ulhar. They learned some stuff. They learned that there's a time-eating abomination floating in space somewhere that they might have to deal with at some point. They learned that there are two ways for them to find the shadowy Vignar. They can either go to the Shadow Pits, formerly the lair of the master of the Vignar, a blue dragon named Drirgaka Dwayarte, who was shot with the dragon and then convinced to turn himself into the guardian of a lair where John Carmichael planted one of the pieces of the flesh of Kur that he is scattering throughout the multiverse so that it can never be used.
Yes.
As a consequence of this, the Shadow Pits are now the breeding ground for dragons that have been infused with the power of the Void. John did take some of the precautions to make sure those dragons can never rise, but it's not a very nice place. If they go to the Shadow Pits, they will find the Vignar. Also, they learned that if they get to space, they will find the Vignar. The only people with decent tech for getting into space right now are the Exarchate, the high-tech cybernetic civilization who wants to sort of conquer everybody very peacefully. According to them, according to their own propaganda. So,
Do you have a flag? No?
no flag,
we can
no
provide
country.
you with a flag for a small fee of everything. But only if you're okay with it.
Mm-hmm. So, the team is essentially divided to split up. John Carmichael and Gastone will go to the Shadow Pits, while Haura and Asena will break into an Exarch facility and sneak their way into space. They also had a dinner with the Prince Casimir of the Voski and said that, hey, after this whole business is done, we will host an interdimensional gala and invite eligible partners from across time and space to see if we can hook you up with a new wife. And he accepted their plan and offered them all sorts of things in exchange if they can pull it off, but that's still in the negotiation phase. So essentially, we are now at the point where these two groups are preparing to split up to head out on their separate missions. Did I miss anything?
I think that caught just about everything. That was a wide net. Well done.
Thank you. I try.
Because of the way in which today's going to go down, Game Master, Tormented by Gnomes, did you have a preference of how you'd like to have us proceed?
Well, if there's any business that you still have in the city, tend to it now while I futz with the overlays so that it doesn't look ugly. And then as soon as that's done, we're basically going to split up and we're going to be dividing our attention between John's mission and Asena's mission.
While you're getting your stuff set up, John was going to, if they want to join him, he's going to be heading down to the marketplace where he died. So he was just going to bring Asena, Gastone, and Haura was already there, so I'm sure she probably doesn't care to come. But if they'd like to join him, he wants to go just kind of check out the old stomping grounds.
Okay. Haura doesn't have a whole lot of interest. She's more focused on preparing the actual mission. You know, as she points out, the thing that we're here to do.
Oh yeah, John just kind of curtly reminds her that his preparations are complete, and you know, if she has anything else she needs to do to figure out how to get to space, you know, that's not a big deal. You know, then yeah, absolutely, you know, feel free.
Well, she's going to be in contact with Linn from the Digital Rebels because Linn's help is going to be vital in getting into Exarchate territory. So she's going to set that up, and the DM is going to fix the overlays.
What, like it's hard to get to space?
I know. God, what, you just like, you know, jump real high and that works, right?
I mean, if you can jump high enough, can you jump high enough? How high can you jump?
I don't know. You want me to roll?
Yeah, roll.
Yeah, I'm going to roll for it. Here we go. You ready for this?
Roll to jump into space.
My 12th strength wizard's going to roll an athletics check to try and jump into space.
A 3.
I got a total of 8.
Okay, just, you know, the long and the short of it is that's not going to cut it.
Yeah, no, that's not going to do it.
Wait, I'm gonna try to jump to space.
Okay, roll an athletics check to jump to space. 21.
Yeah,
you jump
that's much
really
better.
high. Not into space though. You cannot jump into space. Still not space.
What if I kip her up? If she jumps, like if I hold my hands together and then I throw my hands up as she jumps.
Okay, you can have advantage on that check if you'd like to re-roll with advantage.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm re-rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna get you into space. Just watch.
I did.
All right, so you
Made
got
it worse.
like an 11 or a 15. We're gonna take the 21, which is a very impressive high jump. Like you go very, very high. You do not, however, get into space.
Well,
I regret to inform you.
Darn.
John turns to Asena. I think our space program was doomed from the start.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know how great you are at boosting. Maybe you should stick to magic.
Yeah, we should probably get Gastone in his exosuit if we're gonna try that next time.
I'm pretty sure Gastone would have some things to say about jumping into space with his exosuit as the resident actual scientist. Yeah.
As long as
You think Gastone's gonna jump higher than me in his suit?
No,
No, I
but
think
he's
he
going to
can
have a
just
lot
help
of things
fling
to
you higher.
say about the fact that it won't work.
Oh, John absolutely knows it won't work. It's just fun to try.
But that's, you know, that's what Gastone's primary contribution to this would be.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, this was doomed from the start. I just let you do it because I wanted to see how high you could jump. That's it. It would be kind of what we'd see there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
joke's
no,
on you. I didn't think I would actually get to space that way.
good to know.
Got him.
Yeah, John spends a few minutes talking about a very detailed explanation that he did the math and he does not have enough mana in order to actually keep casting fly to get us to space. He could get us a couple miles and that would be about it. Not nearly enough.
John, do add 1 point of inspiration for that great handoff earlier today to your character sheet.
Thank you very much.
And all right, so the marketplaces of the Voski are very much like a Baroque shopping mall that is highly stacked up. If you've ever been to a city where you go downstairs and there's like huge food courts, markets, a lot of the shopping is actually below surface level. Imagine that, but stacked way up and occasionally overlooking this massive ravine that the city's essentially built in, this natural pocket between 3 separate mountain peaks that are all nearby. It's highly vertical, it's highly stylized. There's lots of fountains, waterfalls, greenery running up and down. Again, the balconies are incredibly embellished. The sides are, like the palace at Versailles in way more places than is necessary. John, the specific place where you almost died was in a bar, I think. What's going on?
Nothing. Nothing.
Matt's being weird.
That's being weird. Yeah,
that's
it's
being
Matt.
kind of sus. All right, but yeah, even the bars.
But
go ahead.
wait, real quick thing.
Mhm.
I thought I saved this part of the district. You said it was broke, but I thought I fixed it.
Baroque. It's a style of architecture. All right, you're laughing, which means you know that, which means shut up, Matt.
Wow.
John is going to go ahead and he's always packing because he's got his briefcase. They're going to make their way to one of the promenades. Again, John's like trying to pick out exactly where it was, where he was walking down the marketplace and was attacked psychically by the Vignar mine bullets. He picks out a spot that seems, for the most part, not secluded, just, like when you go to a fountain and like there's one person sitting on it and you walk around the other side of the fountain and you sit down. So that way you kind of have a little bit of privacy, but you're not trying to be secretive or anything necessarily. Yeah. So, while we're all kind of walking along our way through the marketplace, John's just kind of pointing out little bits and bobs. This is and that's of his last journey through here. And, I think that's the place where I collapsed and almost died if it wasn't for the fact that I had placed a spell on myself earlier that would prevent me from being killed by such measures. But that was expensive as all get out. And I hope to never have to worry about that again. And as he finishes his explanation, he opens up his briefcase and just begins methodically kind of taking out everything he's going to need in order to apply a spell tattoo. And he offers to Asena if she would like one before she sets off on her mission to space behind Exarchate enemy lines.
What's it going to do?
It could do anything you want as long as you let me know generally and if I can actually perform it. Okay, well, if we want to continue this jumping foray, I could make you jump higher, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to be incredibly useful for you.
No, I'm pretty good at jumping, so it's got to be something that I'm not good at.
Okay. Let's see. How about this? You can already do that. That could be useful.
I can do a lot of things.
Okay, let me give you... Asena, go ahead and roll a d4 for me, if you wouldn't mind. Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. John goes ahead and he pulls out two different like when you go to a tattoo parlor and they have like different options that you can select through their portfolios. John goes ahead and takes out a selection of his different knotworks, runes, and circuitry that he tends to use during his spell process. And he shows her the runes for a spell that he says either could enlarge or reduce Asena's form. Either if she needed to get into really tight, small places, he could make her about the size of a cat. Or if she needed to get somewhere and hold like a portcullis or a door or something open, or just be extremely large and imposing, he could make her the size of a small giant.
I like the first option.
Cut the bullshit and tell us what we want to know.
Likewise, he shows her a different set of knotwork that would be able to turn her invisible for a small period of time. And finally, he kind of going along with her request of covering maybe some of her weaknesses instead of applying to her strengths. He shows her a tattoo that they would, with just but a sentence, and I would love to see how this would work out. Asena would be able to give a creature a suggestion that as long as they failed against her, they would have to follow her course of action that she dictates.
Remember when Dre Dodson and all of his angels had to sit down playing patty cake?
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially that spell, except instead of hitting everybody, it would hit one person.
Okay, let me think. Well, I don't like telling people what to do. It's kind of creepy. Okay, I can tell them what to do. I can tell me what to do.
Cut the crap, Hamlin. My biological clock is ticking and I want babies now.
What's that reference from?
It's a play, Hamlet. You know,
Oh, it's Shakespeare abridged, isn't it?
Yes.
It's Shakespeare abridged. That's right.
it is. Yeah.
Let's do Shakespeare. Side note. Anyway.
Yes, that sounds great.
She really likes the idea of becoming cat-sized because that's cool.
You can hang out with Chester.
Yeah. Maybe she wants to do that with Chester though, because that would be really cool. A little cat adventure. Even
John could send Chester along with you guys if you'd like.
no, it's okay. You're just gonna spy on us.
Oh, I can't. Not from that far.
You can't reach to space.
Once I've gone past like a mile, I can't do it anymore.
She likes the invisible one. How long does the invisibility last?
It would be up to an hour or until you punch somebody or do something aside from just walking around.
You mean you can't punch people while invisible?
Not with this one.
Only once.
I also have one that can open any lock. So
That's not
nice.
very helpful. I can.
Well, you and I have a very
He hasn't
different
come
idea
across
of
a
what could
metal
and couldn't
door
be
yet?
helpful.
She hasn't come across an airlock or trying to get through an airlock.
Every single door has been, at most a stone door of a tomb that she's still been able to shatter with her bare hands.
Yeah, I think I like the invisibility one.
All right.
Even though that means I can't punch a ton of people. What if I punch a lot of people all at the same time?
If you do that before casting the spell, then yes. And then once you cast the spell, you still can punch them a lot, but only as soon as you hit somebody, you'll be, visible again.
What if I strangle someone?
You want to run that by me again?
Strangle someone?
Yes. Once you perform any hostile action against anyone, the spell will unfortunately fizzle, and you will once again be normal.
What if it's not hostile? What if I just touched her arm?
If you stroked someone's arm as you walked by them, no, you'd be fine. If you opened a door while you were invisible, you'd be fine. If you kicked down a door, you would be visible. If you strangled, punched, or taken any offensive action against somebody leading to either strangulation or death, or even minor injury, you would also become visible.
What if I tickled someone?
I feel like we're having the conversation at the end of Guardians where everybody on Peter Quill's ship is saying very terrible things, and and then the officer has to just keep telling, nope, still illegal. Yeah, no matter how you phrase it, that's still illegal. And if you are attempting to deal damage or otherwise affect a creature in a negative way, you will become visible.
An aggressive action will cause you to become visible. A passive aggressive action will not.
Yeah, I mean, you could tickle somebody all you want, but as soon as that tickling makes it to where they can't perceive somebody or it does damage to them, then it's no longer, silly tickling, and now it's aggressive tickling. Which, depending on where you go, there's clubs around here. People do, commit to aggressive.
All right, moving along.
I imagine as Matt starts doing the tattoo on Asena, she's just asking all of these questions.
Yeah, we spend it takes an hour to apply the tattoo. So during this entire hour, and where would you like it, by the way?
Here.
Perfect.
On all my burns.
Excellent. So covering up the burns of your inner arm, John, over the next hour, applies the invisibility tattoo. And do you have a preference of what you'd like? Do you want Celtic knotwork, Nordic runes, or like weird looking circuit board symbols?
The circuit board ones will make me fit in more.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
let's
Absolutely.
do that one.
All right. John gives her a really cool looking circuit board pattern. And we spend the next hour talking about the intricacies of how aggressive tickling could or could not be.
Some extremely well-dressed Voski with their hovering shopping bots walk past, look at you just with the tattoo stuff going to town and talking about aggressive tickling, and they just shuffle off and don't look at you or talk to you. Asena, you now
And,
have a spell tattoo. You can activate it as an action, or is it a bonus action, Matt?
It's an action, yeah.
As an action, you can activate it, and the effect will last for up to an hour, or until. Is it a concentration effect?
Wait, let me double check real quick. Hold
It
on.
might be a concentration effect.
You can cast, while imbued, you can cast the spell normally. And yeah, it doesn't have a spell attack bonus or a save DC. So what was your other question?
Invisibility is a concentration effect. So basically,
Correct,
once
it
you
is.
activate it, Asena, you have to keep focusing on the spell. It's not going to be too much of a problem, but if you get harmed, actually, if you take any damage,
We'll have to rock
if
a
you take any
concentration check.
damage, right, there's a chance that it'll break your concentration and you'll become visible.
Or like Joe was saying, if it turns out that if a ship crashes or if you're involved in an earthquake, something that would literally rock you around, even if you don't take damage, the DM can still ask you to make a concentration check while concentrating. Also, if you have a spell that makes you concentrate, you immediately lose concentration on this spell.
That being said, using any spells will also break invisibility, so it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Well, using an aggressive spell, if you just cast like a healing spell, I believe you're fine. Let me double check.
It says if you cast a spell.
Oh, well, then there you go. Never mind.
Yep.
If you cast a spell, then you're SOL. Although, do Asena's spell-like features that she uses her focus for count as spells?
Yes.
Okay.
To a certain degree. If it emulates the effect of a spell, then it counts. If it's something like I want to be able to run using a focus point, extra dash or whatever, that does not count.
I'm just making sure because if, let's say, for instance, she tried using one of her focus points, would somebody be able to counter it with a counter spell since it is...
Right.
Okay, so
if it literally emulates a spell, it counts. If it doesn't, it doesn't count.
Just making sure. Okay, that's cool. Nice.
All right, and then to activate it, you have to touch that tattoo, right? It's like a lock pattern where you sort of swipe your fingers across it in a special pattern, and that triggers the tattoo.
I mean, that's how I've always flavored it. I don't.
Then
think
that's how it is.
The feature has to, But yeah, I mean, I would say that John instructs her how he does it. But if Asena has a cool way that she'd like to come up with for how she activates it, I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't be applicable. That's how John does it. John always somehow either touches or he'll roll up his sleeve and do. If he usually will expose the tattoo generally, but it kind of depends.
Okay.
All right. So remember, you have that. Add that to your character sheet somewhere, and then
it's more like a guideline than an actual rule.
Haura lets you know that she's got everything together. She's made transport arrangements. She's located the target, and she's ready to take off whenever you are. And Gastone is off with the Voski, prepping the hovercraft that's going to be used to transport them towards the shadow pits.
Ooh.
Thank you for the tattoo.
You are very welcome. And hey, good luck on your mission, please. I know you're with Haura, so you can keep an eye on her and she'll keep an eye on you. But, you are going behind a pretty intense group and are going to be stealing something of theirs and heading into space to go after a group of shadow assassins. So, be safe. Okay.
Okay. You be safe too.
I will do my very best.
You have Gastone, so sorry.
Yeah, about that. Yeah, no, we'll be fine. That being said, mate, question: are my spell bullets only useful for like handguns?
They have to be specifically made for specific calibers. Your revolver takes a very specific caliber. It's not usually compatible with other weapons unless you make specific spell bullets for those weapons.
Gotcha. Okay, well then never mind. I was going to pass off something as a security measure, but I'll have to just work on that later.
All right. Do either of you have anything else to say to each other or to do in the Voski capital before you depart on your separate adventures?
Asena will sigh a little bit and then ponder and then say, if someone tickles me, will that break the concentration of the spell?
I don't know. Are you extremely ticklish?
I don't know.
You might want to find out. I would say if someone touches one of your erroneous zones and you go into a giggle fit of laughter, then yeah, it's a possibility it could break concentration. But if you're immune to such tactics, then no, it probably won't be a big deal.
Don't tickle me.
I'm not going. I would never dare.
Okay.
I might dare a little bit, but We're kind of in the middle of a public square. That's, you know. Anyway, and John kind of leans in and gives her a, not awkward, but just like, you know, hey, good luck, don't die. And then takes off. Of course, taking all of his belongings from the side of the fountain and putting it back in his bag.
Packing up his whole kit, folding it up in the briefcase, and walking away. The camera sort of has a wide landscape shot of the fountain. There's no music playing. There's just the trickling sounds of the fountain and the of high-tech vehicles going by and a slight hubbub. And the echo of John's feet as his duster trails across the nice polished marble floors of the mall.
Hell yeah.
Haura comes in on your comm link, Asena, and whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. She gives you directions and meets up with you pretty quickly. Just because she has a lot of faith in your ability to navigate the wilderness, but this is not the wilderness, and she's not entirely sure how you're going to do with that. The two of you take one of those long Mass Effect elevator rides down sort of near the lower reaches of the city. Haura has switched out of the clothes that she was wearing before, sort of her Northport headmistress business garb. She's wearing light body armor, survival gear suited for the desert, although the desert environment doesn't really seem to bother her at all. So she probably should have some more water, but she's not human, so she's going to be fine. Her hair is fixed back. She's got it tied off. Extra bullets at her side. All of her gear is ready to go. And she's just tapping her feet as the elevator goes down.
How long is this elevator ride?
Like 3 minutes.
Dang. Oh, pretty deep. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Haura, I've been meaning to ask you. The first time I met you, you were kind of creepy. But you don't really seem that creepy anymore. I guess that's not a question. Why is that?
I decided I don't have to eat you.
Eat me?
Yeah, I mean, we were working alongside John Carmichael. I never know where to start with that. Everybody is a threat to my school and my students until proven otherwise. You've proven otherwise.
Well, that's fair. I felt like you wanted me to go to that school, though.
We could probably hone your talents if you trained there for a while. Again, when you first started out, I just thought you were some young gifted that he found in the streets of Northport.
John really didn't want me to go.
Yeah, he's not stupid.
Is it bad there? What do you mean he's not stupid?
No, he didn't want you spending any time with me. He didn't want to spend any time with me.
And here you are.
Mm-hmm. Here we are. She smiles. The smile almost makes it all the way up to her eyes as well. It's at least somewhat genuine. Now, when we're in scenes like this, you have the ability to end the scene anytime you want by just waiting for the elevator. So the narrative control of that is on you.
Okay.
It's like when you're in a game and the A button is like slowly ticking down, and if you let it go all the way, then like, okay, then the elevator gets there.
Exactly.
I think she'll just sit in awkward silence.
All right. She sits on the floor of the elevator.
I was gonna say you sit on the floor.
Yeah, I actually will sit on the floor.
Or kind of looks down for a moment. Doesn't even shrug, just waits. You reach the bottom. You are now deep underground. And the elevator has to be specially secured. The lights are now red down here. And when it opens up, you are in a heavily reinforced stone tunnel hung with lights all the way around, sort of like the Stargate base or NORAD, if you've ever seen that. And as you make your way down, this is a military vehicle depot of some sort. There's pipes all over the place for proper ventilation. There are ground vehicles with wheels, as well as hover vehicles moving back and forth. There are large hangar bays, lots of machinery and equipment. It's kind of hot down here, a little bit muggy. There are workers going back and forth with bright lights. managing hovering carts full of munitions, weaponry, supplies. And you're making your way through, and it's very loud. But as you make your way out along some pathways, you end up in essentially an underground hangar base. Think Halo 3. And down there is Linn, from the one who had the first one who ambushed you along the way. You see her vehicle has been fully repaired. Her mobile command center and 2 of her Pumas have all been recently repaired, rearmed, and they're being fueled up and supplied at this very moment. Haura explains to you, our target is a decommissioned launch facility. It should be still kept in working order. We have records of Exarchate launches fairly recently, but small launches. We don't want to go all the way deep into their territory. Linn knows their security better than anybody. And if we have any chance of evading their sensors and patrols, Linn is going to get us there. We're going to travel with her convoy, not using any of the Voski's equipment because it'll be detected. We're going to go in quietly, reach the launch facility, and make the rest of our plan from there after we've had a chance to get eyes on it.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but I'm really bad at quiet.
That's why you're going to be inside the car.
Okay.
And it's going to start quiet. We'll see where it goes from there.
Oh, I'm good at that part.
Yes, I'm counting on it. Linn shows up. She's wearing her full power armor. Her cybernetics are glistening. Again, recently resupplied. Looks kind of excited, a little bit impatient. The 2 of you are riding with me.
Oh, okay. Hello to you too.
Do you still have, Pods, do you still have that laser turret that you ripped off the ship earlier?
I should, yeah.
Okay. Linn is actually going to take a look at that and start working on that while they're on the ride, while they're driving.
Okay.
Everybody loads up. It's, again, very packed inside the mobile command center. It's got some of Linn's finest troops in there. They've got their survival gear. They're all sort of padded armor that's stealthy. They've all got their rifles at the ready. You squeeze in. Everybody's sort of buckled in, or at least able to buckle in. Very small and comfortable seats. And as they close the hatch, the cabin hisses, pressurizes, and you can feel the engine whir to life as the convoy starts rolling out into the desert through probably a good mile or 2 of underground tunnels to a hidden access point.
We're not going to get attacked by Dargans again, are we?
We shouldn't. We weren't supposed to last time. Eventually, the viewports on the side, after several minutes, they go much, much brighter. You're outside now. You're going to be doing a lot of the travel at night, but the setting sun is over in the west, and so you've got some light directly ahead of you, and it's going to be mountains for miles and miles and miles. It's going to be a long trip. And at some point, maybe around the half-hour mark, Haura grabs a pack that she has, unlocks it. It has 2 separate locks, one on either side, opens the latch and passes it over to you. She brought snacks.
Oh, Asena's like whole face lights up at this discovery. Oh my gosh, she's just gonna rip into it. Are they just for her, for everyone?
Haura has her own. Haura brought her own snacks. She knew there was this one is just going to be Asena's. She came prepared.
She's very smart.
She works with students. She gets people. Everybody has different needs.
In the middle of stuffing her face, she can be like, "John doesn't bring me snacks."
John doesn't do his best thinking on an empty stomach, and he often has an empty stomach.
Oh, maybe I should bring him snacks.
I'm sure he'd appreciate it. It's going to be a long trip. It's probably going to take you a day or 2 to get all the way out there, maybe even more. You notice over time that the rest of the people, they seem pretty familiar with sleeping on the go. They just bolt themselves in, set their helmet to like sleep sounds, white noise mode, deep alpha waves into their brain to help them turn their brains off, and they just keep rolling through. This rig is designed for that sort of long-term travel. Haura doesn't instigate a whole lot of conversation along the way. She mostly responds. Linn spends most of her time, she's sort of like somehow she seems to be checking the sensor logs as the mobile command center is scanning for Exarchate attackers and seeing if you've been detected at all. She's paying attention to that, and also she's got the laser turret and she's welding pieces together. She grabs a tablet, takes out some parts of it, starts putting them into the thing. It beeps, it hums. She scowls at it, pulls out a part, just keeps on tinkering with the thing. What does Asena do to pass the time on this road trip?
She's also not really going to initiate conversation. I think she feels comfortable with Haura because of this fact that they're just allowed to be silent together without that pressure. But every now and then she will test the limit with Linn as far as like controls or buttons on on the vehicle.
Okay.
Just like pushing something random and seeing what it does. So, sometimes maybe she fires a little weapon or something. I don't know.
Okay, roll an intelligence check. Just a flat intelligence check for me.
Okay. 7.
A 7 total. All right. A weapon system powers up, and Linn immediately, with lightning fast reflexes, hits that. Looks up at you. She's got a hollow projection in front of one of her eyes as she was in the middle of doing the analysis. She looks at you, and without turning away, she presses 3 different buttons on the wall and locks all the computer screens near you, like child lock mode.
What?
The Exarchate has satellites, buried seismic sensors, long wave detector towers, and sonar throughout the entire area. We have to do this quiet. We fire any of our vehicle weapons, and that greatly increases the odds that they find us. So if we run into any trouble along this way, we have to handle it old-fashioned.
I like old-fashioned.
Haura leans in. She's good at old-fashioned.
But I'll stop pushing buttons.
As soon as you say that, Haura will now start just asking, what does this one do? And these over here? And just asking Linn almost on your behalf what everything does. So now you know how to like mess with the climate control. You know that a lot of the buttons have to do with the sensors. Again, this is a mobile command center. It's got excellent scanning and communications equipment. It's designed to send encrypted messages and to avoid detection and to control her entire group, her entire team of rebels, most of whom aren't here right now. You're just traveling with a very small convoy. But she's sort of educating you by proxy so that you're going to be a little bit more familiar with what everything does, so you're less likely to accidentally fire something. Here's how you engage the safety. Here's how you disengage the safety. Here's how you manage the targeting system. Here's how you select your range. Here's how you select your ammunition and firing mode.
The whole time, Asena's like eyes are just like lit up. She's not saying much, but she's very engaged in this learning because it's all new and fascinating.
Mm-hmm. All right. How does Asena do with sleeping? Again, they have basically VR headsets that are designed to put you to sleep, especially if you're in uncomfortable situations. And for some circumstances, they'll hook themselves up to an IV so that as they're breathing the circulated air, they're not like drying out or anything like that. How does Asena do with these cramped, uncomfortable quarters?
Well, she's definitely used to sleeping uncomfortably, but this is still very strange to her.
Mm-hmm.
So does she have one of these VR headsets?
Yeah, they have a set for her.
So she'll try it, but it's not really going to do much for her.
Yeah, they don't have anything programmed with like forests, jungle, wildlife, nighttime sounds, anything like that would really put her at ease. It's all very abstract things. It's not designed to be like, an actual real environment. It's more designed to be sounds and lights that just key off the brain and shut it down. And it's not working great on Asena.
There's also the fact that we're moving, which is new. She's been in a car before, but not for an extended period of time. She probably gets sick at some point.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Well,
24. All right, you definitely are feeling it, but you're just sort of don't puke in front of the Dargon.
that would be so embarrassing.
After a while, you are going to get out of the mountains and start crossing the open desert, and everybody gets much, much more anxious when you hit that part. And by open desert, I don't mean like sandy dunes. I mean a lot of rocks, a lot of cracked, like a dry riverbank where it was mud thousands of years ago, and so it's got this spider web of cracks going through it. Salt flats where the wheels audibly crunch as they drive over salt crystals, and the salt just gets up in the system, and if they didn't have great environmental controls, it would erode the crap out of everything. The guys in the Puma are not having a good time, I'll tell you that much. Matt, did you have something?
Yeah, before I forget, I just was looking through the loot here, and I forgot if I can. I had something I wanted to do before Asena and John split off. John wanted to slip the Gem of Brightness into Asena's pocket. I know she didn't seem super big on trying to use it, but just in case she gets stuck like in a bit of a sticky wicket, it'd be nice if she could, maybe go, oh God, I don't know what to do, and then like go, oh, what's this, and then has an option if she wanted to try using it.
Okay, Pods, you can either just say yes, that happens, and Asena doesn't notice, or we can do this the old-fashioned way with dice.
The old-fashioned way.
All right. So, John, you're going to roll a sleight of hand check.
Okay. So wait, let me go ahead and roll first because I might use my deduction dice. So I don't want to know what your roll is, so I don't cheat. Give me just a moment here. So sleight of hand. An 11. Yeah. So would have used a deduction dice. So let me just go ahead and wabam. Would add a 5 to this, so a total of 16.
Okay. Asena, roll a perception check. 17. Caught in the act.
So it would have been when John was when he was giving you that awkward hug, he was trying to like slip the Gem of Brightness into your pocket, and he realized that you have these really weird, like kind of half torn up, half like retrofitted pants, and he was like, where the fuck are the pockets on these things?
It's always a problem.
And he slipped it somewhere that like it wasn't like so much a pocket as like it went like just inside the pants, and so it's like, okay, I got it in there, and he kind of like walks off awkwardly.
What does Asena do? There's a gem basically in the waistband.
Yeah.
She's definitely gonna pull it out and just like, look at it and shrug and just be like, that's weird. Could have just handed it to me.
Just yeets it at the back of his head.
Right?
No, she just go ahead and keep it?
Yeah.
All right. 0%.
She'll put it in the one pocket that is working.
All right.
The actual pocket.
All right. So
what does that thing do again?
It binds people.
Okay.
I'll pull it up for you as you're continuing on your drive. One last check again. Your laser gun is almost ready as they're going out over the open desert. And a couple of times everybody gets really tense because Linn detects, okay, we're passing through a sensor net right now. Cut the engines, just coast for a little while, bring us down to minimum power, and no broadcasts. And so there are a couple of moments as you drive through the desert where everyone's just really quiet, monitoring everything. They dim the lights and the power goes low. But aside from those sorts of moments and working on your laser turret, Linn doesn't seem too much like talking. and Haura is just sort of meeting you wherever you're at. Is there anything you want to initiate or instigate before we move on to our next scene?
The radios that we have, that was just like our local team, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So right now you're out of range from Matt and Beatdown, but you are in range with local comms with Haura, who's sitting next to you for what that's worth.
I imagine that as we're driving, Linn might get on the radio with some of the other cars. And so every time she does, Asena is just sort of like copying what she says, but it's only going to Haura.
All right. God, this is what I used to do when my dad was doing ham radio, and I would sit there with a toy radio and just mimic everything that he was saying.
Yeah. That's exactly what's happening. And she's not doing it to be annoying.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna publicly roll a wisdom saving throw for Haura. 17. All right, she puts up with it. It's totally fine.
But she's doing it very whispery, like so that way she doesn't actually get picked up by Linn's radio.
Just enough so that like Haura hears you whispering in her comlink in her ear.
And I'm sure Linn hears the little like beep every now and then.
She's like, wait a minute, I'm picking up another wavelength. She looks over, Haura just sort of waves her off like, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I feel like a child.
I mean,
Well,
it's sort of Asena's raised by wolves experience, right? If we were out in the wilderness with her, we'd be like, we are 100. You are the most mature, important person in this room who has the master of your element. But she's in sci-fi universe right now. She's even further out of her element than she's ever been.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things to press and buttons to poke and nerves to get on. So why waste the opportunity? All right. As the convoy is passing over an open area, and it's a little bit more of a censored dead zone, Linn has been focusing on sort of sending encrypted reverse signals to hide your presence from the Exarchate, since, again, she knows their codes better than anybody else does. But at this point, you're just sort of flooring it across a dry lake bed. And as you're going, the team looks around. Somebody radios in from Outrider 1. It says they're picking up a dust cloud off to the north. We've got a second one to the south. And Linn immediately says, all right, draw up our formation. Everyone get ready. We've got raiders coming. What do you do, Asena?
Asena's gonna get. Oh, I should see if this works. Oh no, it doesn't.
What are you trying?
Asena's gonna get on her radio to Haura again. But she's gonna be like, "What's a raider?" I don't know if that sounded okay.
No, it sounded great. Bad guys?
Oh, okay. I got that.
Yeah. Get ready.
She doesn't really know what "get ready" means. Like, maybe she'll take a look at where the doors are.
Okay. As you look outside of the vehicle, you are able to see clouds of dust off in the distance. Roll a perception check for me.
Ooh. 15.
A 15. All right. You can see other vehicles off in the desert distance. Their light is shimmering off of them from the heat of the sun, making a mirage, and they're throwing up dust as they drive at high velocity. But there's actually a whole crowd of smaller vehicles now heading directly towards you. They come from both sides. The two Pumas pull closer together, and all three vehicles accelerate to go to maximum speed, which forces the two groups on either side to just sort of, they're driving towards you, trying to intercept you. They're not going to get there in time, and now they're driving behind you. And as you can see on the map, there's a whole bunch of them.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
At least they're smaller.
Oh my.
Yeah, it seems like it's a whole bunch of smaller vehicles, and you got a 15 on your perception check, right? So as you look out there, you can see that these things are absolutely beaten down and rusted from exposure to the desert. They are adorned with spikes and welded on with extra bits and pieces of metal scavenged from other vehicles. The people riding on them they're wearing hodgepodge armor. They've got rags tied over their faces. They're wearing dark goggles to keep the sand and the sun out of their eyes. And as they're driving forward, one of the two sand rails, someone on the back is just shooting gouts of fire into the air. Just
That's intimidating.
I thought we were supposed to be quiet.
yeah, well, nobody told them. It's scrappers. They're looking to draw Exarchate attention and pick up one of their patrols so they can break it apart. We'll see how well that works out for them. But if they keep this up, they're going to get attention. They're going to send a real patrol. And if we get hit by a hover patrol, we didn't bring our EMP rockets. We're traveling light. We need to take care of this quickly. Haura nods, looks out over the three groups, and starts pointing things out. Asena, there are 3 groups of enemy vehicles. The first group has 2 of the smaller cars, the ATVs, and a larger vehicle in the back. It's not shooting gouts of fire, but whoever's in the back of the car is absolutely enormous, sitting there holding a huge gun and just hitting himself in the forehead over and over and over and riling up the raiders on his vehicle.
Oh no.
The middle group is comprised of 4 of the smaller ATVs. And the back row, the guys on those ATVs have rocket launchers. The third group is comprised of 2 ATVs and one of the larger sand rails, like a dune buggy from hell. And that's the one with the guy spraying fire into the distance all over the place.
Alrighty.
Haura says, I figure we could take one of these groups. Which one would you rather?
I want the dummy that's hitting his head.
Perfect. You two will have a lot to talk about.
Hey, mate, is this like Angry Mark Rage Street or something?
I don't get the reference.
Oh. Like Mad Max? Angry
Oh,
Mark?
yeah, 100%. Big Mad Max energy. You know, witness me, what a day, what a lovely day. A dude in his long johns playing a guitar that's shooting fire, that kind of stuff. These are road warriors. All right. Haura relays that over.
You mean Street Fighters?
No, they're not on the street. They're on the open road. All right. The convoy changes positions and they start splitting off in different directions, trying to lead the 3 groups apart. And the group with the big guy on the back, and you notice in addition to holding a huge gun, he's also got a massive sledgehammer in his other hand.
Oh, God.
He lets out a roar. It's too far away for you to hear anything. And roll for initiative.
Okay.
You got a 12.
And I clicked my token this
And
time.
you clicked your token. You did everything right. Excellent.
I'd give you inspiration if I could. That was impressive.
All right. Haura's going to roll in. And Linn shouts, remember, We need to keep them from using any vehicle weaponry, and we shouldn't use our own. If we do, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. All right.
So, guns only? Are guns allowed?
Haura nods and then looks at her hands and says, or, whatever else comes to mind. Cracks her knuckles. All right. Hara's going to be first. She looks to make sure that everyone else is locked in, is buckled down, and then says on radio comms, ready?
Asena will put the radio down, so she's scrambling to find it. I'm ready.
Haura is going to use her bonus action to take the radio, clip it to your belt, and just sort of gesture at you that you just need to just press the button and you're fine, and keep it with you. And then she uses her item interaction to throw open the hatch. The wind is enormous. This vehicle is moving at incredible speed. It's like the worst Logi run of all time. Just and she
should have brought a wheelman.
She is going to hang out the side. She's not quite as acrobatic as you are, even though she's plenty strong. She's going to hang out the side and judge the distance. $50 feet.
Oof.
She nods. Yeah, that'll work. Her eyes glow. Lightning crackles around her. She's got one hand holding onto the open door. The other one, she grabs in front of herself, drawing electricity forward. It starts to rise in a spiral. She makes a series of arcane gestures, drawing a rune in the air, clutches her hand, shoves it through the rune like she's disemboweling an enemy, and a bolt of lightning fires off towards one of the smaller vehicles as she casts Lightning Bolt. Crack!
Nice.
And one of the bad guys is going to be up next, and then it's going to be your turn, Asena.
Did she get anybody with that?
I'm rolling a save right now.
Okay.
I'm rolling for the whole vehicle. Oh, the driver is actually really good, and he pulls as he sees her starting to cast, and the vehicle sort of sways. The lightning bolt goes off, and it doesn't run right through the engine of the vehicle like she had intended. So she only does half damage to the people on it.
Ah.
Boo.
15 points of damage. All right. Meanwhile, the bad guys on the two ATVs that are closest to you, they're a little bit faster than your vehicle. And so they're going to start closing the gap.
Oh, no.
How much faster are they? They are 20 feet faster. So they're going to gain 20 feet.
Asena, remember that inspiration I said I'd give you for doing the initiative, right? I will actually give you one of my inspiration if you jump onto one of those cars and take it out.
You don't have to give me an inspiration for that.
that was always going to happen.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
All right. Asena, as you see them driving forward, you can see that the drivers, in addition to having one hand on the handlebars of this thing, their other hand, they've got a set of bolas that they're wheeling over their heads. Basically, they're going to reach out, try to grab you and drag you off of the vehicle into the dirt. So you just get massive whiplash and get dragged across. They are not in range to do that just yet, though. It is now your turn. What would you like to do? The distance between you and the ATVs, and the left side door is open, by the way. This door right here where Haura is.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 35 feet. Because you can't go.
Make that jump.
You could probably make that jump. Do you want to go for it?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
All right. Roll an athletics check.
Okay. Where did you go? Okay, I can do this.
I know that velocity doesn't take part in D&D, but technically, if they're moving faster than their car, then technically it should be a little bit less, right? Because if she jumps out and they're moving quicker than they're moving.
Mhm. Yeah, but then there's still the matter of sticking the landing without getting flattened. So it's a lot easier to
Absolutely.
get there, harder to do without going splat.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about physics.
Oh, physics doesn't belong in D&D at all because it just breaks the game.
Asena just saw Haura do like something like really, really cool.
Mhm.
So she's like breathing, like composing herself, like, oh, I gotta do something cool too.
Okay, a 14 on the athletics check.
I mean, I could spend inspiration to make it a little bit better.
You did only roll an 8. Would you like to do that before I give you the results?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to remind you, just because you don't do this that often, if you spend a key point to do your Step of the Wind ability, it also doubles your jumping distance for that turn. Just FYI, if that was a factor for you.
What ability? I don't have that ability.
It's one of your abilities where you can spend a key point to dash.
Oh, the dash.
When you use that, it also doubles your jumping distance. It lets you basically force jump like a Jedi.
Yeah,
So
move like lightning. It allows you to dash, and then it also doubles your jumping distance for the turn.
So you could either spend a key point, or you could spend a point of inspiration. Your choice.
A focus point,
Yes.
which is key.
It's the key to
I guess
victory.
I'll spend a focus point because those come back. I also get an experience while we're at it.
Yeah, we got
Correct.
experience because you were muted.
Correct. You each get 1 XP. All right. So you
Dude,
saw
you're on it
Haura
tonight.
do this whole thing. You tap into your reserves of inner strength. Remember to run like a jaguar. And you just fling yourself through the air, crouching tiger, hidden dragon, wire foo style. And you
Nice.
land directly on the ATV. Go ahead and put yourself right on there.
Sick.
Do you want to land on the back?
No. I don't know. I want to be in the middle. I can't really be in the middle.
Yeah, it's like a mongoose where they're pretty cozy on this thing, so there's not a lot of space. Now, if you want, you've used.
I'm actually gonna be in the back.
Okay. Step of the Wind is a bonus action, correct?
Yes. And
So-
dash has the bonus action.
So you've used your bonus action, and here's the really tricky thing. What's your move speed, Asena?
I don't know.
It'll
Fast.
be on your character sheet near the top.
45.
Okay.
Yeah, 45.
So here's the thing. You also dashed, which means you have 90 feet of movement. So you could, if you wanted, you could literally kip off this guy's head and make another athletics check. And if you nail that one, you will land all the way on Duke Chungus's head, all the way in the back.
Gosh.
If you want. If you want to deal with this problem first, then you can make your attacks as you land if you feel like. Your call.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but that option's just so cool. Like,
I have an inspiration with your name on it if you do daring and cool stuff.
if I do that, am I gonna be able to do anything while I'm over there?
Yeah, you literally have 90 feet of movement. You've used your bonus action. You haven't used your action yet. And you can make multiple attacks. So if you wanted, you could land on the dude on the back. You could land on his head, like punch him, and then just jump and punch somebody on the other car too.
Right.
Or you could save both of your attacks for whoever you land on. Also, as you're flying through the air, the guy on the back of this ATV was severely injured by that lightning bolt. He's really weak.
As cool as it is, I think I want to attack some people here.
Okay.
See how that goes.
All right. Do you want to attack the driver or do you want to attack the gunner on the back?
I'm gonna attack the gunner first.
All right. The gunner's the one who's severely injured. Doesn't appear to be wearing much in the way of armor. Just has a pistol out. Go ahead and roll your unarmed attack. Because you're flying through the air towards him with momentum, you will have advantage on this.
Oh, perfect.
Also wanted to let you know, because we don't do this often, but in combat like this, it's really useful. Much like with grappling, if you want, you can also choose to shove a creature where you would use your athletics check. And if they fail a contested check, you push them 5 feet, which normally in combat, not a big deal. But if they're driving a car and you push them 5 feet, you basically kick them off the car and now they're out of the combat because good luck catching it back up with you.
It's your call if you want to beat the crap out of people or throw them off the vehicle so they go. "Bah, bah, 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 bah."
That's funny. Okay, good to know.
Always fun options.
All right. That is an unarmed strike with advantage. You got an 18 to hit, and you dealt 11 points of damage. What happens to this guy as you are flying through the air towards him?
Oh, I think I'm just gonna come at him and he's gonna go flying.
You just drop kick. You just fly through the air, kick him. His neck snaps backwards, and his body does pirouettes through the air as he flies backwards and hits the dirt. And now you're sitting nicely in his spot or standing on the back seat, whichever you'd prefer.
I'm definitely standing, but I'm right next to that turret too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, so this guy's gone, just completely annihilated, and the driver. Because, again, it's like a Halo mongoose. The driver is looking through his goggles with his spiked hair back at you. And you have another attack.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try to punch him.
All right. Roll. You do not have advantage on this attack. You had advantage on your first flying attack. Now you're just on the vehicle. So roll the attack. A natural 1.
Oh, no.
A natural 1. Would you like to spend your point of inspiration, or would you like me to explain what happens?
Well, I don't know. Now I'm scared.
A natural 1 in a high-speed desert vehicle chase? What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. That sounds really scary. I'll spend an inspiration.
All right. Reroll your attack. Just a flat attack because you have advantage, but you've already rolled one of the 2 rolls. So a flat normal attack.
Oh,
another natural 1!
God.
It's meant to be.
The prophecy is true.
To be mated.
All right. You go in for your second attack, and at that exact moment, the vehicle hits a bump, and you go flying off the back. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, no.
Okay. Let's see. Saving throws.
16. Okay. You barely managed to cling on. You are sort of perched on the back. Your feet are right above. You haven't been abraded into nothingness by road rash just yet, but you're clinging on to this vehicle for dear life on the back.
Oh, man.
You've used both of your attacks. You've used your bonus action. I believe you're done, unless you want to drop off the vehicle, which is moving very fast.
Yeah, no thanks.
Okay. One thing that I think makes sense, actually, you know how you have the slow fall ability where you can absorb a certain amount of fall damage? Yeah. I think you should be able to use that to get off a moving vehicle and superhero
absolutely.
Stop yourself.
Totally.
I mean, what did I just do? A deck save?
Yeah.
I do have evasion.
Yeah, you succeeded on the save, so you didn't fall off. You're fine.
Oh.
I'm just saying that if you did fall off or deliberately get off of a car, instead of immediately taking crashing damage, which is what you would do if you jumped off a car going 100 miles an hour, you can use your slow fall ability to eat a lot of that damage.
Gotcha. I want to stay on the car, though.
Oh, that's definitely the right call. You definitely want to stay on the car. It is now time for Duke Chungus. And yes, that is his working name.
Duke Chungus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
All right. His vehicle is also going to advance a good 20 feet because they are faster. And he points at you and unleashes just a bellowing. The man is probably on some kind of drugs.
That's renegade for cut the crap and tell us what you want to know.
All All right. He's gonna fire.
Did they just hit that guy? They just like ran over the guy.
Oh yeah,
that
they
got shot up?
absolutely smashed through the corpse. That is 100% a thing that happens. All right, so he's gonna fire his combat shotgun at you, and you're not within 10 feet, so he doesn't do double damage. You are within, so he's gonna do full damage on this if he hits. Duke Chungus fires his combat shotgun, and you have he has advantage on the attack because you are dangling for dear life.
Wait,
Yeah.
but she's prone. You have disadvantage attacking a prone
Yeah, but she's
target.
prone like from one angle, not from this angle, not from the back. Does a 16 hit your armor class, Asena?
I am a 17.
Okay, no. Pellets go flying past you, but you take no damage.
Nice.
That is it for Duke Chungus.
Dang, that thing would suck.
Now his road raiders. His road raider is merely driving the vehicle. So he starts honking the horn on this thing. And that's all he can do because he's in charge of the Vic. But all of his goons, the bullies who are on the rest of it, he's got 4 of them. And all of them are just going to unload their pistols at you, Asena. And they all get advantage on these attacks.
They do.
So you get 4 because you're just hanging off the side of this thing, like the back of it, and they're driving up right next to you. So you come under a hail of gunfire. They do all kind of suck, but a 22 hits you. You take 4 points of damage. You can spend a focus point to use your reaction to absorb it, or you can take 4 points of damage.
Can I try to deflect it?
It takes a focus point to do that.
Yeah.
All right, you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, and there should be an entry on your character sheet for deflect bullets. Though I think you automatically...
Yeah, so it's a reaction just to deflect it, and it's a key point to throw it back.
Right. Okay, so you can use your reaction, and you will automatically catch it. And then if you want to spend a focus point, you can throw the bullet back at him.
Okay.
Yeah, you absolutely catch it. Do you want to spend a focus point to throw it back, or are you good just catching the bullet?
I think it'd be really epic if I threw it back.
Okay.
Especially while I'm like dangling from this car.
And there's also a deflect missiles attack, so you can just click deflect missiles and it'll roll an attack for you.
Sweet.
Oh, that's what I accidentally pushed.
Yeah, it doesn't have an attack roll on it. Just roll an unarmed attack. And you're hitting this guy who is within range. Unlucky. You throw the bullet and it goes whizzing past his ear. The other 3 are all just going to open fire with their crappy little pistols on you as well.
Okay.
A 9, a 21. You take 7 points of damage. You've already used your reaction, so you just take the damage. And the last one fires and gets a natural 20. You take 13 points of damage. So you took a total of 20 that round.
Damn it. Why can't I do this? Okay. My health bar is so big.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a ton of health. Like, you're only down to 57. You're doing fine. All right. So it is Haura's turn again. Haura sees that you seem to be in a little bit of difficulty.
Which is embarrassing.
So she is going to...
Hey, May, also,
Yes?
question.
Mm-hmm.
Was it these guys right here that were shooting at her?
No, it was these guys.
Oh, it's all this group right here.
Yeah.
Poopy.
Duke Chungus's battle wagon was just...
Oh, gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Asena.
Although this one guy here should get an attack as well. He doesn't have advantage on it, so he is going to take his shot. And the other one is the one who already got fragged. So he fires and misses. All right, so Haura snarls a word or two in the language of magic and vanishes in a cloud of mist.
Oh.
And reappears on the back of the other ATV.
Nice.
As her bonus action.
She just Misty Step.
Yeah, she just casts Misty Step.
Nice.
She teleports onto the back of it. She is then going to grab the gunner and just attempt to throw him off the bike.
Nice.
Here is her strength check, 20 total.
Nice. Ooh,
Here is the gunner's strength check,
good.
7 total. She grabs him by the neck and just throws him over her shoulder. Ah! He goes bouncing, splatters like a bag of jello in the desert, and is dead.
Oh, God.
Now, the question is, does she have multi-attack? Ah, she does.
I was going to say, she's a dragon. The answer is maybe.
All right, she's going to try to just yeet the other guy. So she takes that seat, and then she grabs, now that she's sitting on the back of it, she's going to grab his head with both of her hands and try to just overhand him as well.
Oh, gosh.
Here's Haura's strength check. An 18. And here is the biker punk's strength check. A 9. He's grabbing frantically at his head, and then he gets hurled overhead and goes bouncing off into the desert. He may or may not immediately die, but because everyone's moving so fast, he's out of the fight.
I was going to say, yeah, getting thrown off that thing.
Now, Haura's going to make a dexterity check to maintain control of the vehicle. She got a natural 1.
Oh, no.
As she turns to the vehicle,
Wait, can I do something?
What?
Can I spend an inspiration?
Yeah, you can spend
a significant effect to the game.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
So as she flings him off, his boot got caught, pinning the steering wheel in place to where your one still stands, but instead of whatever horrible thing would happen, I'd like for the car to just go careening this way into the oncoming traffic.
Okay. So the guy, instead of going flying overhead, his boot gets stuck in the handlebar, which turns the whole thing. And so Haura looks over her shoulder at you as the ATV just goes careening through the desert. And the guy flips backwards and his face hits the underside of the tire.
Oh, God. I think he's dead now.
There's a shriek and a horrible spray of something hot and red as Haura just ends up towards one of the other groups, essentially taking her and that vehicle out of the fight for the time being.
I've expunged my inspiration.
Yes.
God.
Okay. Asena, it is now the biker punk who's driving the car you're hanging onto the back. He looks over his shoulder at you, makes a rude gesture, and starts just turning the car left and right, trying to shake you off.
Yeah.
Roll a dexterity saving throw. Oh my God, he got a natural 1. He got a natural 1.
Oh my gosh.
And you got an 8. Oh no.
This thing just goes in a ditch, right? And it just kicks everyone out for
He flips the logi, essentially. He absolutely just flips his own vehicle. Oh no. Oh,
why were you guys driving through Pothole Central? Well, I'll look at the map, actually. That makes sense.
Oh, crap. Okay, Asena, your special lets you take half damage. Your evasion lets you take half damage on a successful save, on a failed save, right?
Yeah.
All right, and how does your slow fall work?
I can use my reaction, but I already used it.
Yes, you did already use your reaction. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, Slowfall takes a reaction?
Yeah.
What? Oh my goodness. Could you use an inspiration to get a reaction back?
Yeah, you could absolutely use an inspiration to get a reaction
That
back.
might be good.
So
That might be
Wait,
good.
you don't want me to fall off the logi as it flips?
And take 30 damage? I mean, like, you know.
I'll take
you
15 damage. Evasion counts.
You do you.
Yeah. I'll spend an inspiration.
Okay. And do you want to use your reaction to slow fall?
Sure, yeah.
All right. So here's how this is going to go down. The ATV just endos and flips and then spins out in the desert. And you hear the driver go, "Whoop!" as he ends up underneath it, moving at like 120 feet around. Just blop, blop, blop. He's dead. The bike goes spinning through the desert. Asena jumps off of it, puts her feet down on the underside of it as it flips over, pushes off, somersaults backwards, Roll an athletics or an acrobatics check. Your call, Asena.
Easy. Athletics.
An
11.
11. Wow, we are just not having a good dice day. All right. That is enough for you to land safely in the desert. It is not enough for you to land on the other enemy vehicle, which is right here.
That's okay.
All right.
I'm okay with this.
You have landed safely in the desert. The ATV has taken another ton of damage, and it is now flipped, and it's sort of spun out in the desert.
Okay.
I think that's... Yeah, this guy's out of the fight. He's gone because he got his face mulched. This guy's gone. So that does it for these dudes. It is now your turn. This car, I know that it looks like the battlefield is still, but really it's one of those moving battlefields where it's just like screaming past you, right? So this car is about to go tearing past you. What do you want to do?
I want to move over to the flipped Logi.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just Master Chief that shit.
right? Yeah, I'm gonna try to flip it back over.
Okay, roll an athletics check. You move. You barely have to do much movement. You roll an athletics check to do the flipping. 12. What's your strength score?
Where on the left?
It's a 16.
Okay.
There's a 3 and a 16.
You are able to lift it, but you're not going to be able to just insta-lift it. So it takes you your bonus action to flip it over.
Yeah, because I think she can deadlift 480 pounds just like normally.
How much does an ATV weigh?
Probably a lot.
520 pounds.
So yeah, pretty close.
So the
That's
strength,
not
yeah.
bad.
If it was underneath that limit, I'd be like, yeah, it's free, right?
Dang, Asena, you could just walk around. Okay, and here's what's crazy though. Imagine this. In D&D, you can literally just lift, drag, and carry 480 pounds, no check revolved. Like you could literally just walk up, grab a fridge, and just like start carrying it down the street and never have to make a check.
Well, I thought about throwing the car at the other one, but
That is still an option. That is still an
Yes.
option.
Please do.
Is it
Please.
really?
do.
You've used your bonus
Yes!
action to flip it, but if your intention was to just throw it, that would be an attack instead.
We have rules for throwing things.
We absolutely do, and I have rules for collision. Do you want to throw the ATV at the sandrail?
Well, I think it's just so epic now that we have to throw the ATV.
Yes. Do it.
Imagine her like very angry, like stupid vehicle.
Chat just gave you
Stupid
inspiration.
potholes. Ah. And
So-
we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subs from Mama Shimada.
So chat just gave you inspiration, so you can have advantage as you make this attack roll. So you're going to attack.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to attack, but your attack is going to be another athletics check, and you're going to roll it with advantage as you just hurl the vehicle. 12.
I'm stuck on 12.
All right, so 12 is what the sandrail is going to have to roll to get out of the way.
Damn it.
Ah.
13. All right, you hurl this car, and the sandrail just barely manages to juke out of the way. That was your first
Dang it.
attack. What else would you like to do?
Oh gosh. I don't know if I'm in range for anything else.
You have your bonus action back because you decided to throw it instead of just flipping it.
Yeah.
You've used one attack. You've used about half your movement. If you try to jump on board this thing, because it's moving so fast, you're going to have to make a check to avoid getting splattered.
Oh god.
But you have the movement to get over
Run
to it.
over?
Yeah, because like imagine if you came to a complete still and then a car was traveling and you jumped on top of it. Like that car's momentum's going somewhere.
Yeah.
It's doable. You're a superhero, but you're not so high level that you wouldn't have to make another roll to pull it off.
Right.
I believe in you.
unless you spent a focus point, in which case you could do it automatically.
Is there anything near me? Like, did anything like fall off the car?
The biker guy driving it had a chain. Like just a
Okay.
big old chain.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That sounds scary too, because then I'll just be like in the desert, not on a car.
You can run as fast as these, but only if you move, use your action to dash, and spend a focus point to use your bonus action to dash. You can actually keep pace with these things. Barely. Actually, you'd slowly lose ground. Yeah, you'd be 5 feet slower than the car.
Okay.
You could also Castlevania your way on the car if you wanted.
What are you talking about?
You got the bone whip, and you could just like, you know, whoosh, just like grab the side of the car with the bone whip.
Oh, scary.
Or if you wrap the bone whip around, you know, Duke Chungus's neck, and then he's like, and then getting choked while you're like, you know, kind of running behind and
Yeah.
like skiing or whatever, or what is it, water surfing?
What'll it be? You still have your bonus action, and you have an attack left.
Where the heck is the little ruler?
Halfway down the middle, it'll look like a, yep, there you go.
That was
How'd
me
that-
doing that.
This one. How did any chance this landed straight on?
You just threw it, and you want to jump onto the car?
Yeah.
That's so cool. You've used too much movement, so you would have to use a focus point to dash in order for that to work. That's the only way you'd be able to do that.
Okay.
Do you want to do that, though?
Yeah.
Well, mate, wasn't she right here? Didn't she just move 5 feet?
Yeah,
And
but
then
she
this
also
is-
had to get up from prone.
Oh, up from prone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you're going to focus again, leap through the air with like no inertia, no momentum, and you just land on the ATV. Shunk.
Nice.
Go ahead and move yourself on top of it. Now you have one attack left.
Okay.
I love that you throw it and then jump after it. That's classic comic book movie stuff.
Hey, it's still got half health. This is still useful to me.
Uh-huh. All right, so you've landed on it. You have control of the vehicle. You'll be able to start it up and give chase, but you have one attack left. Is there anything that you can do with that?
I'm gonna try to spine lash this guy next to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, roll an attack with spine lash.
Okay.
A whip made from the collected vertebrae of ancient bones. A 13. These guys are not heavily armored. And you can't roll today. I don't know what it is. Like
That's
you-
the
you
highest
are
roll she's made
cursed.
this entire combat.
You are hard cursed right now.
This is my first combat in this dimension, and it's not going well.
Oh.
All right. Well, there's a couple of things that happen. First off, you hit him, and he shrieks as the spine lashes across him. And the second thing that happens is
Behold, an act of God.
Oh no.
you failed. Whatever can go wrong does go wrong.
Oh.
Your next or last D20 roll results in a critical failure with the worst possible results.
Okay, wait a minute. Earlier, we had in chat that whoever rolled a natural 1 got inspiration. Would you count this as having it be a critical fail?
I'll count this. Now, the inspiration was granted with the proviso that it could not be used to reverse the thing that
Yes.
activated it.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Asena, here's what happens. You immediately, what just happened, what you would have rolled is undone. This guy has full health. Instead, you roll a natural 1 on your attack
yeah.
and fail horribly. You do, however, receive advantage on, well, you do get a point of inspiration.
Okay.
The bone whip grabs onto the sandrail. Roll a strength saving throw.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Oh no. Is it going to yank her off the
16.
ATV? Okay,
It
good.
almost, yeah, that's what would have happened. You failed, and you almost just got yanked. But because the Act of God specifically says that the worst possible result occurs, I'm also going to have your ATV get turned, like just spun around from the momentum of it.
Oh no.
Okay.
All right.
Ugh.
We are having a rough time. We are having a rough time. All right, folks. When we
Just
come
making
back,
me angry.
we're going to see if Asena can give chase to Duke Chungus and his land raiders. We're going to see what happened to Haura. We're also going to go check in on John Carmichael and see what he's been up to in the last several days. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.